What's going on, guys? It's Boss Han here. I am back here on the channel with another upload, and today I have a story time video. In a community post, I said to y'all that I would make a story time video about Habit Burger stories. However, that's kind of canceled for a little bit because I only have one at the moment that is too short to make its own video. Originally, it was supposed to be a mini compilation, but I don't have any stories. I just only have one, so I'm gonna have to save that for later. I don't know. I feel like I should work at Habit Burger to get some Karen experiences. Yeah, if you guys want me to dare me to work at Habit Burger as my first job when I'm like at college or something, let me know in the comments. I would be interested to seeing those. And yeah, though, for this story time, since that idea is scratched, we're going to be talking about people getting mad at pixels on a screen, which also known as video games. Video games, which everyone and their mom has played. I mean, not that much moms, but basically everyone on Earth has played it, no matter what game you played. And I don't know if anyone still knows this game or even talks about it. I mean, I've seen a few YouTubers talk about it, but it's not a big thing on YouTube or any other social media. I don't know. I only use YouTube, so maybe I'm kind of wrong, but there's this game called CROSSOUT that was a big part of my childhood, all the way back in mostly in middle school. No, that was mostly in elementary school, around the 6th grade. And it's basically this game where you're in a car, you have this car, and you build like armored pieces. You get this car and you put guns on it and eliminate others to get certain prizes. Not only that, but there's many other events, and it's overall a fun game. Of course, when there's battle passes that the developers added, not only that, but with a paywall, so every time you play this game, when you're like at the max level and you don't have that much good parts, it's now the game turning into a pay-to-win game, which is the game, as you can see on the screen here, is the CROSSOUT game. You're watching me play the actual game. What I'm trying to say is that in the past, CROSSOUT was an amazing game until a bunch of new stuff that just kind of made it a little bit more difficult to play. But yeah, that's the whole gist of this video I'm going to be talking about. And this video has already been 20 minutes since I didn't do my intro, so let me get out of the way. But without further ado, let's just get right into the story time. Get all of your beverages and snacks, maybe even like a pizza, and let's just get right into the video without wasting any time. No intro needed. But this story time, of course, is about CROSSOUT, a game that can cause rage. And most of the time, people when I play CROSSOUT with, mostly in a team matches, it can get really difficult and competitive because in some types of matches, if you make a certain formation while playing the game and the enemy has a counter way to play it, a counter way to go through of your guys' formation, then you guys are all screwed. Basically, this game in CROSSOUT, it's mostly on cooperation. Sometimes if you just join the game, if you're a low level, there will be some players at a higher level than you and you'll automatically win because most of the enemies will just be wiped out. This game is kind of a little bit unbalanced sometimes for other people. The servers are just randomized like other game mods, but this game has kind of brought a little bit madness to other people. Now, I understand that sometimes games can make you a little bit upset, but sometimes there were some moments where some of the people that I played with in CROSSOUT got a little bit too angry, and I did not really expect this because this is a game which I thought was pretty chillaxed. So there was this one time I was playing a game mod in CROSSOUT called Drone Apocalypse. I think that's what it's called. But basically, instead of using your own vehicle you made, the game developers will give you a custom made vehicle called a drone. Essentially, like how in CROSSOUT there's like this area where you can go to the gun section, the weapons and equipment. There's like this drone where you can get like a drone with wheels or a drone with like helicopter wings. Basically, it's able to fly. But basically, the drones in this mod are only land vehicles, so it's kind of hard to play the mod a little bit too because every turn you make is a sharp turn, so it's kind of difficult to control. And I just bumped into someone. I mean, not into something, but into like the wall, which it gets a little bit annoying because sometimes when you play this game, the internet just crashes out and you just run into a wall randomly, or you just don't move at all, which, hey, sometimes that's how the internet works. But what I was saying was that there was this time where I was playing Drone Apocalypse. While playing this game, for the first minutes of the game, it was quite normal. Nothing was really happening. No one was raging at the game. Everyone was having a good time. Each of the other players had a mic. Everyone did. We were all just like chatting. But then there was this one kid that I forgot this guy who this name was. So we're going to be calling him Cameron. And Cameron started raging a little bit. He was like screaming like of how I don't understand why these people are constantly killing me. It's constantly very annoying. Can you guys help me out? But like, since this game mod is very, very new, everyone's just scattering everywhere, not knowing if we should help each other or to go separate ways. So this guy's just like screaming at us, trying to get our attention to help us. But like, since like this map is very huge, we can't just like try to contact each other, because then what will happen is if we try to go to the other teammate, we would all get smited. One of us will get smited because one of the drones would have like a giant sniper rifle, making cooperation a little bit difficult. And the objective of the Drone Apocalypse is basically there's 2 teams. Each team has a giant mammoth vehicle that you're supposed to protect, and the person who has damaged the enemy team's mammoth the most or destroys it, they automatically win the game. And our team was getting destroyed because we try to cooperate as best we can. And unfortunately, it did not go too well because in this lobby, for some reason, it was very chaotic. So many people in this server, and it was kind of buggy for us to play. So there's that. It's been about 3 minutes and this kid won't stop non-stop complaining about how we're not all cooperative, while ignoring the fact that there's basically a server with 30 people that don't know if to cooperate or whatever, because it's just too chaotic. I mean, you could try your best, but ultimately then like 10 seconds later, you're just gonna get sniped, like how it does in every other game where it's chaotic. Like there's just chaos everywhere, and unfortunately for us, we didn't really have a good start, so that's why we just kind of lost, which I just basically foreshadowed a little bit there in a little bit of the story. Why did I spoil that? But basically, what happens is that as we get a little bit into the ending of the round, our base was about to be killed, and like the mammoth gets destroyed, right? And oh my god, as soon as that happens, the kid just starts going off onto all of us of how we're basically people that don't know how to play the game and to whenever help others, and starts insulting all of us because we don't know what to do because it's just too chaotic. We were basically bumping to other enemy cars. We were bumping to walls, sharp turns. We would drive fast, try to turn to the other angle, and we would just run into walls. It was just very chaotic. And you know how in game chats, when the round ends or when someone disconnects their mic and they just stop talking like completely, that happens and the round ends, and I just start laughing a little bit. Now, it might sound a little bit rude, but this guy was being rude to us in the first place, to us random people. Like, he doesn't even know who I am. I don't even know who he is. None of us even know who all of us are, in fact, in the first place. But this kid was just being mean to us. That's what I'm just gonna say. However, that's not all of the experiences I had while playing CROSSOUT. There were some others that didn't involve other events. Like, there's this one other time I was playing the regular CROSSOUT modes, like team battle and stuff. I was playing that, which was a 6v6, and it was since it was less cooperative, not less cooperative, it was less chaotic, we can cooperate a little bit more and to see which direction we're gonna go, which formation. And our team didn't do a proper formation, so it's most likely that we were gonna lose. And unfortunately for us, we got destroyed like completely because we were playing up against fast builds, fast cars that can destroy and overwhelm the enemy because they were using shotguns, which was a disadvantage for our team. Most of us were snipers and hover builds that can be completely destroyed if encountered by a shotgun build unless they aim right, time right, and snipe them. But unfortunately, we just didn't have the right angles. And there's this random person at the end of the match that just starts screaming of how everyone is basically a asshole because everyone does not know how to play the game. I mean, he was like that to us for a little bit, but then he just starts going off on how this game sucks. Like, it's just so unfair, and of how the servers don't know on how to put other players that can't play well to other players that can't play well, and for other good players to go with other good players. Basically, just arguing of how the game designers designed this game for the randomizers, for other servers, for the other people. It's just very, very inaccurate, which that could be an argumentable for an argument claim there. I kind of agree a little bit with that some certain consoles, like consoles, should only face up against consoles. PCs should face up against other PCs. Good, and like etc. etc. And that story right there kind of represented most of the people that were angry at the game. They would just rage at the very end. Nothing too really special. Or there's this one story that stands out to the other rest, and that would probably be the end of the video, I think. But there was just one time I was playing not team battle, not PvP or any other events, but it was the raids, which basically raids are game mods which you play in order to get other rewards other than scrap metal and other resources like cans or something. But basically you can get other resources, the mains you can use for crafting for weapons like copper, plastic, batteries, no, not batteries, but electronics and all that other resources. Basically, they're very expensive. You can also sell for or even craft. I kind of feel like they should maybe raise some of the amount of resources you can get, because some of them, it's just very hard to get. That's just my note opinion for all the game developers of CROSSOUT that are watching this video. Anyhow, though, I was putting into this server in a rad, which how this rad worked is that we were supposed to guard this truck that was supposed to be taken across from the start to over across the map and have it without being destroyed. However, at the time, we were playing a rad to get electronics, so meaning this would be a very, very more difficult rating of the rad, meaning it's basically going to be more tougher enemies we were just going to dialogue, because that's just how it works. Unless you were playing a very, very hard armored build in which it can survive high durability and pressure against other high enemies, basically you're very good to go. But at the time, I didn't really spend money onto this game that much. I mean, actually I did, but how it worked was that I would just get the money right. But since I try to get new other parts for other videos, I would basically get scammed and try to sell the item, get it for a little bit lower price, sell the item, get it for a little bit price. You can't raise the prices because it will just take forever. So therefore I was just losing out on money, basically getting it to where you can see on screen a only small vehicle, which, hey, I'm just fine about. I can just get gameplay for using the adventure mod. So we start playing the rad and we go through all the levels. The first few levels were not that difficult until we got into the ones where it was very, very slow. The truck was going very, very slow because it was running out of fuel. We had to get fuel. One of us had to drive over to a corner where one of the enemy mini bosses were carrying fuel to deliver to the truck, while the rest of us were defending the truck from the enemies. But there was this kid that thought that he can just go over without help when we told him, hey, we're not going to go yet. We have to defend the truck first. He's like, nah, I would win. And he went over. But unfortunately for him, the enemies were a little bit too overpowered that he just started getting eliminated very fast and quickly. And so I was like, are you kidding me? This game is rigged. And so we went over there and like, dude, just wait. We only have to defend this truck for at least like 2 minutes or something. And so we were, while we're defending, and we're trying to tell him to, hey, we can't just all go over there, because then what happens if the truck gets destroyed, we're gonna have to restart, minusing all of our fuel, and we can't get the fuel back if we just do the rads and we failed. That's just not how it works. But I guess this kid did not get the memo, and for at least like 10 times, this guy wasn't able to defeat the enemy. And so this guy gets so mad that I don't know if he just wanted to take his anger out on like his console or something, but we hear like a giant thud of what seems to be like plastic like being torn apart or something. I don't know. It kind of sounds like, you know how when machinery gets dropped to the ground and it makes that clink sound? It doesn't sound really good. And we're all kind of shocked while playing this game because this guy is mad because he keeps losing even though we're telling him to play. And it just cuts to him leaving the game, basically disconnecting. And I don't even know what to do now. All I know is that all of us were now silent in this group chat. I'm sorry, game chat with these two other people. And after the situation that just happened, we just played the game like nothing ever happened. Because I mean, we're not gonna quit the match all because someone had a meltdown over playing a game, but we managed to get the truck to its destination and defend it. We were at like 40% when the game ended, so yeah, those were the times where people raged while I was playing CROSSOUT. Some moments were funny, some were not, some were shocking, like this one where the kid got angry and threw a fit, destroyed his monitor because he was mad at pixels on the screen. And yeah, those are all the stories I have for people raging at CROSSOUT. If you guys like listening to these story times, I would really appreciate it if you guys press the like button on this video because it lets me know you guys like these story times and I'll just keep making them whenever my brain makes a story times pop out of nowhere. But until then, guys, I'll see you guys later with another video. Maybe not a story time, but I'll see you guys later. Peace.